What I need you to do is just draw me a little picture here. And the goal is to complete this problem just like this, but in radians. Here's a big hint. 19 pi over 12 is 285 degrees. Shocking. I did this on purpose. I put these next to each other so that we could use this problem that you guys are really familiar with and apply everything to this problem, which you guys are not super familiar with yet. Okay. When I have a problem with the unit circle like this, what are the three things that I label before I start the problem? 0, 180, and 360. Okay, I'm going to do that same exact thing over here, except I'm going to work in a common denominator of 12s. Okay, so this is going to be 0, and it's not degrees, it's radians, so you just put 0. This is going to be 12 pi over 12. What does 12 pi over 12 reduce to? Pi. Okay, and then this is going to be 24 pi over 12. What does 24 pi over 12 reduce to? 2 pi. Okay, so I find it much easier, especially when you're getting started with these problems, to label your axes in a common denominator to your original problem. Okay, so let me go over this again. I put a 0 here. I look at the denominator of the problem, put the same thing on the top and bottom for the 180 spot, and then double the top for the 360 spot. Are you guys okay with that? Okay, now I'm going to say to myself, all right, self, 19 pi over 12. Where would that live? Like what part of this would that live? Okay, what number is between 12 and 24? 18. So 19 pi over 12 would be right about here. Oh, snap. It's exactly the same as yesterday's. And it is exactly the same as yesterday's. I did that on purpose. Hopefully that it would make more sense. Okay. Is everybody okay so far? Are you sure? Okay. Now, the next thing I did on yesterday's was I made a little arc in here to find the reference angle. And I found the reference angle by finding the difference between 360 and the angle I had. So I found the reference angle by doing 360 minus 285. Okay, what represents 360 on my picture here? 24, great. That means that my reference angle is 5 pi over 12. What do you guys think that 5 pi over 12 is in degrees? 75. I'm not going to label all the 5 pi over 12s in the circle because it's just too much, but I am going to draw in the other arrows now. Okay. Now, quadrant 1 I'm looking back at my degrees. Quadrant 1 is always in between 0 and 90, and it's the same as the reference angle. So quadrant 1 is 5 pi over 12. Okay, what did I do for quadrant 2? What do we do? What's our usual formula for quadrant 2? 180 minus, right? Okay, look at my diagram. Which of the labels on my diagram is 180? Minus the reference angle. Okay, now pause here. Why does this make sense logically that this would be 5 and this would be 7? What would the middle be? 6. Does that make sense? Okay. And I don't label it on purpose, but if you want to label it, by all means you can. I just think that children end up making their angle to the y-axis instead of the x-axis, and so I just don't do it. Okay, quadrant 3. What's our usual formula for quadrant 3? 180 plus. I think that you guys might be getting the hang of it. Okay, so 180 is this. And I don't have to do quadrant 4 because my original angle was in quadrant 4. Okay. Positive coterminal. Okay. For positive coterminal, I took the original angle from the problem and I added 360. Okay, my original angle from the problem. What's 360 on my picture? That's supposed to be an equals. I don't know why. Okay, last thing. Negative coterminal. I took my original angle and subtracted 360. I think you guys tell me what you think. I think the key to this whole thing is working in the common denominator of whatever that problem is and labeling that 0, 180, and 360 spots before you start the problem. And I think if you can do that, you can reason out the rest of it just by applying what you know about degrees. I just think that you're not going to go very fast at first because you're learning and we wouldn't expect you to go very fast at first. Okay, I'm gonna pause here. Do you guys have any questions about number 10? Any questions about where I got anything from? Okay, the next thing I need you to do is look at the stamp sheet. Miss Rice and I, we love you and have empathy for you. We have overbooked you for the week and we would like to fix your stamp sheet as such. Okay, so everybody flip to the stamp sheet side. This is what we're doing. Okay. I use whiteout. You can just cross things out. I canceled this homework is the first thing. These 4 CPM problems, those are gone now. Why? Because that worksheet's too long. It's not your fault. We just overbooked you. So those 4 CPM problems that lived right there, So I don't need you to do those anymore. Okay, next. I canceled the FIAB because I love you and I need us to go slower. So cross out the FIAB completely. So what only thing we're gonna do on Friday is I'm gonna stamp and the quiz. And you're actually gonna have no weekend homework. I know. We all need a deep breath. I can feel it from everybody. Okay, so on Friday, the only thing I'm gonna do is stamp. You guys can study for the quiz while I'm stamping, and then we're gonna do the quiz, and that's it. I'm gonna go over the quiz topics in a minute. Okay. On Monday, we're going to do 9-84, which is the tangent graph, which I like. We're only gonna graph it one time, for funsies. Because it's a pre-calc pinch, but, I like it, so just graph it one time and see what it looks like. And then we return back to normal. Okay, so what is canceled? This CPM homework, the FIAB, and the quiz is Friday. You guys have any questions about modifications to the stamp sheet? You feel a little bit better, maybe, I hope. Okay. Next, let's look at the quiz topics for Friday. Hopefully you looked at this already, but maybe not. This quiz is much faster than the last one. There's no chapter 8 stuff on it, so there's no polynomial division, factoring, sketching the polynomial graphs. There's none of that stuff. No i's, no roots. It's good. Okay. The first topic is Pythagorean identity. Do you know what that is? It's where you draw the triangle, label the three sides, do Pythagorean theorem. I'm gonna do one of those with you in just a minute again. We did one yesterday. It was number 15 from your mid-chapter. I'm gonna do another one with you today. Okay, second. Sketching an angle in standard position and finding the reference angle. Guess what? That's gonna be in radians this time. So, but all you have to do is, label the 0, 180, 360, draw the arrow, and then find the reference angle. You don't have to find all the quadrants and everything. Literally just the arrow and the reference angle part. We're practicing that again today. Converting an angle from degrees to radians and radians to degrees. So that's the one where you decide if it's pi over 180 or 180 over pi, and then reduce. We did that yesterday. You guys remember? Like the unit conversion. Okay, and that's it. And it's much shorter than the last one, which is good. I think it's only 10 points this time. Okay, so on that note, can you find the quiz review? I'm going to do 4 problems with you. 1, 7, 11, and 15. Note the directions. It says problems 1 through 16 are the quiz review. They should be done without a calculator. And then grab a calculator for the rest of that. Okay. Number 1, draw an angle with the given measure in standard position. Okay, all you need to do is draw the arrow for this one. But we do need to go slow just because we're working in radians for the first time. Number 3 should be easy. Okay. 0, 9 pi's over 9, 18 pi's over 9. Uh-oh. I should much of the camera. Okay. Are you guys solid with my labeling? 0, 9 pi over 9, 18 pi over 9. Okay. So this is 8/9, so it's going to be right before the 9/9. So it's going to be like here-ish. Maybe not even that big, but it's okay. We have the gist of it. Yes. I mean, I would love for you to resist the urge to do that. Can you? Absolutely. I feel like if you force yourself to do it this way, then because it will take so much longer in the long run. However, I'm never going to mark it wrong. It's just that, okay, have you guys ever heard the what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas saying? Okay, you're like, how does that apply here? Okay, so what I mean is if you convert it to degrees and you want to check where it is in degrees, make sure that the label is in radians. So if your problem's in radians, your answer needs to be in radians. Can you do degrees in the middle part? Sure. But just make sure you're back into radians for the end part. I think on the quiz, I wrote answers should be in original units. So if you do convert, you should convert back. I'm really glad you brought that up. Okay, so number one, that's it for number one. That's all you have to do. Draw an angle in that spot. Okay, number 7. Convert each degree measure into radians and each radian measure into degrees. Okay, this guy right here, is this degrees or radians? Radians. Okay, so you go times line, and you see how the pi is on the top, so you want to put your radians on the bottom, and pi radians is 180 degrees. Okay, what is the whole point of me doing this problem with you? What do you think the point is? Why did I pick this one? Think about when you're taking a quiz and you have no calculator. Okay, so what I want to do is show you how to reduce this before you multiply. That's the whole point of this problem. Okay, so first, you have it set up, right? What's the thing you're going to cancel? The pi. Okay, beautiful. Cancel the pi. Okay, now this is Mrs. Talbot's secret for success. Take a look at these two numbers right here. How many times does 18 go into 180? 10. So what you're going to do is go 1, 10. You're going to reduce before you multiply. 29 times 10 is 290. That's how you're going to do these with no calculator. You're going to reduce before you multiply, make your numbers smaller so that you don't have to sit and worry about what 29 times 18 is. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? Okay, and the number on the bottom typically will go into 180. I don't know if you looked at all of them, but they all go into 180. So they're all reducible. Everybody good? Okay, flip the page over. Oh, wait, I lied. Do you want to do number 10 because it's backwards? Okay, why not? Okay, times line. This one, unfortunately, is going to take some work. Do you know what number goes into both 105 and 180? 5. Okay, so Oh, snap. I believe there's a number that goes into both of those. 3. Yeah, I don't think the one on the quiz is that hard. I don't remember having to do any little division-y guys at the bottom. Okay, but most important thing here is when do you do pi on the bottom? When do you do pi on the top? And then try to get the numbers as little as possible. Make your life easier. Okay, flip when you're ready. To number 11. Find the reference angle. Okay, so I sort of cheated by picking number 11. Does anybody know why I picked number 11? We already had the sketch number 1. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy gal. Okay, so we're going to flip back to number 1. And it's really important that you mark this as your reference angle. Reference angle is always to the x-axis. It's inside the bow tie. Okay, what's the difference between 9 pi's over 9 and 8 pi's over 9? 1 pi's over 9, right? Okay, so what kind of work am I going to show back in this problem? I'm going to go 9 pi over 9 minus 8 pi over 9 equals 1 pi over 9. For these other guys, you might have to make a sketch. Okay, last one is number 15, Pythagorean identity. Draw a triangle in the appropriate quadrant. Use Pythagorean identity to find the value of each quadrant. Okay, I'm gonna draw axes. Okay, first thing we need to do is find the quadrant, but because we're learning these for the first time, everywhere there's a cosine, I'm going to put an X, and everywhere there's a sine, I'm going to put a Y. I'm not going to do that forever, but we're learning it right now. Okay, now I'm going to translate this into a coordinate. If X is positive and Y is less than 0, so Y is negative. If X is a positive number and Y is a negative number. What quadrant has positive X and negative Y? Yes, quadrant 4. And so you draw the piece of the bow tie that would live in quadrant 4. Okay, now it says cosine is X is 2/5. You're solving for Y and the hypotenuse is 1. We doing okay? Okay. X squared plus Y squared equals 1 squared. 4 over 25 plus Y squared equals 25 over 25. Is it okay if I jump straight to 1 squared being 25 over 25. I wrote 1 last time and then did a second step where I did 25 over 25. Minus 4 over 25. Now this one is not going to be as satisfying, but it's still okay. Okay, make sure that this makes sense to you. So square root of 21 does not come out nice. So that's just square root of 21. And square root of 25 is 5. Can I break the twins out of jail of 21? No. Which is great news because I don't want to. Okay, now here's the big question. Which one do I choose, the positive or the negative if you're in quadrant 4? The negative. Okay, so final answer is sine of theta equals negative square root 21 over 5. Yes, sir. Okay, 2 reasons. First, look at the direction that y is going in. Second, we figured out here at the beginning that the x was positive and the y is negative. So we need to choose the negative one. So if you're a formula person, go off of the little coordinate you made. If you're a visual person, go off the fact that that's going downward. Excellent questions. Okay, now this is fun. This is not actually what we're doing today. Can you find the maze for me, please? I want to get you started on that. And then I will shut up, I promise, and let you work on things. How are these problems coming though? Are they better? The Pythagorean identity ones? You're getting the hang of that? Okay. All right, so find the maze for me. I want to get us started together because there's radians involved. Okay, start here. Find the reference angle of 221 degrees. Okay, so come down here. That's going to be the start of my little picture. Are you guys okay so far? This one's in degrees, so it's our familiar. Okay, so our angle of 221 is going to be like right here. And it's asking us to find the reference angle, which is the angle between that and the x-axis. So what do I do? Yes. 221 minus 180 is 41. Okay. Find the negative coterminal angle of 3 pi over 5. Okay. So I'm going to flip to my notes, which is warm up number 10, because I'm in radians. Negative coterminal. What did I do to find negative coterminal in my notes? So I did my original angle minus 360. What would be 360 for 3 pi over 5? 10 pi over 5. Okay, so 3 pi over 5 minus 10 pi over 5 equals negative 7 pi over 5. I'm just gonna write that for myself, just because we're learning. Negative coterminal is your original angle minus 360. 360 in radians is 2 pi, so that's where I got the 10 pi over 5 from. Okay, find the reference angle of negative 3 pi over 8. I'm going to draw this one. The answer is not going to be exciting, but I am going to draw it. So I have negative 3 pi over 8, so I'm going to put 0, 8 pi over 8, 16 pi over 8. And negative 3 pi over 8 is going to be right here. That's not true. It's kind of true. It's more like right here. Okay, let's reason. Do you guys need me to reason out why it's right here? Yes? Okay. So this from here to here is 8 pi over 8. Does that make sense? So from here to here is 180. Okay, so if I go backwards, from here to here is 8 pi over 8. Okay, so what would this be? 4. Yeah, negative 4 pi over 8. So this is negative 3 pi over 8. Okay, now what is this angle? The reference angle is asking for that angle. What is that angle? 3 pi over 8. Don't overthink it. It's just how much did you rotate backwards, it's asking. But reference angles are always positive. It's just saying what's the angle. It's not including the direction. We're just going along the top here. Okay. I think you guys can do this one. All right. So let's go. You guys do not need to. You can leave this page open. I'm just going to look back at the stamp sheet real quick. So you have the mid-chapter 9 review. I don't know if you have it done or not. It needs to be finished. This is yesterday's notes. You have these CPMs, this, and all of this. So I'm just going to let you work for the rest of the period now. Definitely come over and ask me any questions that you have. Yes, and
Let's do 1, 6.
so the quiz 2 review, part of it is 1 through 16. The rest of the worksheet is like this homework. Does that make sense?
So tonight, just do 1.
Tonight, I mean, just do whatever you possibly can do. Studying for the quiz part, though, is just 1 through 16. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to stamp before the quiz on Friday. So just make sure that everything up to that, this 72 to 75 we're doing together on the block day, but make sure that everything up to that is done before Friday. Yeah, Kobe. Yeah, okay.